Hi, folks. Welcome on into Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. Coming off probably one of the best nights of racing I've seen at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway since I have been there. First time in history, 5 classes showed up, 6 features, and I can't believe I still have a voice.
I am shocked, too. Watching the video of these races, as close as they were, it was incredible.
Well, we're going to break all these races down, and it took us like 5 days to figure out what portions of video we're going to use in the program today. We're going to start things off with a quick trip NASCAR late models. Brent Kirchner gets his second win in 3 weeks. Matter of fact, it's been interesting. Kirchner won 3 weeks ago. His teammate, Troy Raver, won 2 weeks ago. Kirchner wins again, so it's a pair of teammates that are getting it done at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Also want to mention another part of that race team, Nathan Butterfield, has won 6 races in the past 2 weeks in go-karts. So they have a total of like 7 wins out of that whole group. Brent Kirchner, as you see in the video, holding off the king of the short track, Steve Carlson. Never an easy task, and he did it the entire race. It went caution-free, and you see right here at the end, Steve Carlson, he likes that outside groove. But not going to happen on that night as Brent Kirchner wins 2 out of 3 weeks in the NASCAR Quick Trip late models. And to hold off Steve Carlson for darn near 25 laps, that's a tough task.
He's the king of the short tracks. And it's kind of interesting that the competition out at La Crosse is as overwhelmingly good as it is, that other cars are starting to show up too. And Steve has his hands full.
Yeah, that was the best Steve has ran, of course. He's been knocked into the wall twice over the past couple of weeks. So Steve's got things dialed in, and I would think he's going to be one to watch as the races continue this coming weekend. Lap 16 was very, very sticky. We could have seen the top 4 cars and 2 lap cars all get collected. We're going to show you the video here, and we're going to break this down. Brent Kirchner, again, is trying to hold off Steve Carlson. Again, this is pretty much early in the race. We're on lap 16. Jay Herbst running 3rd, and Sean Paff running 4th. Now, as we get around the 2 turns of 1 and 2, watch the 2 lap cars here. It gets very strange. You've got Brian Lee and Cole Schulze. Kirchner on the brakes, Carlson to the inside, trying to make a move, and they finally race around in what could have been a very contentious situation. Sean Paff, after the race, was quoted in this week's La Crosse Tribune stating, "Never in my racing life, never have I seen lap traffic act like that. That was insane. That could have easily been a big mess." Also, Steve Carlson said, "I was thinking we were all going to wreck. I got kind of dicey there for a minute." And Jay Herbst said, "Everybody deserves to be out there, but when the tower is yelling at you to move down, you've got to quit racing and you've got to move down." We could have seen our top 4 leaders and 2 lap cars in a huge melee there in turn 3. And you were saying, you were hearing over Albert's headset, there was a lot of screaming going on when the tower was saying, "You got to get out of the way."
Yes, and lap cars have a responsibility to listen to the tower. Watching the video, you can tell it was really both cars' fault, the 17 and the 42. The 17 is on the lower groove, and he's got a slower car out there. He should have kept going, and he actually slowed down as well.
Right,
the 42 did
the 17.
Right, and the 42 did slow down, but he was told before he got up there that the leaders were coming. He was told a lap before that to get down. He also received the move over flag that says the leaders are coming. There's a responsibility that you get in line. You shouldn't be racing for position unless you're on the lead lap or the leaders are away from you.
Right.
And it's something that has become a habit with some of the drivers out there who become lap cars, and they've just got to be a little bit more intelligent when they're out there and do exactly what you're told. You don't win a race or by picking up one position,
right.
And it's just not a smart thing to try to use the move over flag to try to pass somebody.
Now, that could have been a very, very scary situation, and I did give credit to those top 4, actually all the late model drivers that were involved in that. I don't know how I would pretty much have to take that video and pick it apart over and over and over to see how Brent Kirchner and Steve Carlson got out of that, because Kirchner, all of a sudden, you had side-by-side racing. He ends up towards the wall. Carlson backs off, and they get through. And a nice bit of driving right there. Quick Trip NASCAR late model points, and it's getting tight. Sean Paff and Jay Herbst say, oh, we don't watch points. Yeah. Yes, you do. In the back of your minds, you do. Sean Paff only 1 point ahead of Jay Herbst, 13 ahead of Todd Korish, 43 ahead of Steve Carlson, and the youngster Matt Henderson only 58 points back. And Matt is in actually in a very good position. You get 50 to win a feature. You qualify fastest. There's 56. I mean, Matt's just waiting in the wings for something to happen.
And things can happen in a split second. Even now they're talking about Jay Herbst when he crashed on the first lap of practice a few weeks ago. He's still putting that car back together. So anything can happen at a racetrack.
And, of course, Steve Carlson, from what I understand, he's going to take a couple of weeks off this year as he'll be doing some ASA racing. So top 5 getting very interesting. North Country Contractor Sportsman, I said this about 7 laps to go as we hit about 6 cars strung together playing follow the leader. Who's going to make a pass? When is the pass going to be made? As you see the video right here. And it took and Rob Mason, our guest today, has been in this position before. It took until lap 4 to finally make a move. Some very clean racing, some very close racing, and there might have been some bumper paint trading going on at the finale of this one.
Oh, this was just an incredibly good race there at the end, and what was good is that they took the used the late models as an example of driving extremely clean. Putting a bumper on somebody is no big deal. It's letting them know you're there. But they did an excellent job of keeping those cars straight as it got exciting here at the end, and your voice started losing here.
Yeah, you see Jimmy Crackhorn Gilster pretty much told Matt England, I'm back here and I'm not going anywhere. Here we're on the white lap, Mr. Dummer. We had a battle of cousins all throughout the night. Trying to hold his own to the inside groove. Matt England finally decided to go to the outside. Jimmy Crackhorn Gilster, nowhere to go. And right here was nothing but throttle down out of 4.
This is incredible. They're going to need to get a stop action camera there at the start-finish line if they have too many of these kind of finishes.
Turn 4 right off the bat, and that was just the second of 6 exciting races we had. When we come back from the break, we're going to run down the Thunderstocks, the Hornets, and the Outlaws, which really got messy for their feature as well. Al Ossie, I'm Dan Dyker, special guest Rob Mason in the studio on the program today. We'll be back with more on the Seven Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG TV.